Welcome to Section 4 of our course, Understanding Mental Health, a WHO Mental Health Gap Action program-inspired course for non-specialists. In Section 3, we explored depression in depth, its causes, how it impacts daily life, the mind and body, the risk of suicide, and the stigma that often keeps people from seeking help. Now that we've understood the problem from a broader perspective, Section 4 will take us into practical, hands-on approaches to identifying, assessing, and supporting someone with depression, especially in community and primary care settings. We begin with the foundation, recognizing the symptoms of depression. Why does recognition matter? Because depression is common but often hidden. Many people experiencing depression may not even realize what's happening. They may just think they're tired, lazy, unlucky, or spiritually weak. Others may hide their pain to avoid shame or judgment. As a non-specialist, your ability to recognize the signs early can make a huge difference. It allows you to offer support, guide the person to care, and possibly prevent a crisis. What are the symptoms of depression? Depression affects people in different ways, but the following are some of the most common signs to look for. 1. Persistent sadness or low mood. The person may seem tearful, hopeless, or say things like, "What's the point of living?" 2. Loss of interest or pleasure in things once enjoyed. They may stop participating in religious activities, hobbies, or social gatherings, even ones they used to love. 3. Fatigue or low energy. Tasks that were once easy, like cooking, walking, or working, may feel overwhelming. 4. Changes in sleep patterns. This can include sleeping too much, struggling to fall asleep, or waking up early and not being able to go back to sleep. 5. Appetite or weight changes. They may lose interest in food or begin eating excessively to cope with emotional pain. 6. Poor concentration or decision making. People may struggle to focus, forget things often, or seem indecisive about simple choices. 7. Feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt. They might say, "I'm a burden," or "everything is my fault." 8. Thoughts of death or suicide. This is one of the most serious signs and always needs urgent attention. To meet the criteria for depression, many of these symptoms must be present most of the day, nearly every day, for at least 2 weeks, and must interfere with the person's ability to function. Let's pause for a moment of reflection. Think about someone you know who has seemed distant, exhausted, or constantly down. Could those be symptoms of depression, or have they been misunderstood as laziness or a bad attitude? Being aware of these signs allows us to shift from judgment to compassion. A real-life example: Paul is a 50-year-old farmer in Benue State. After losing his wife, he stops tending his crops, withdraws from his community, and begins drinking heavily. His neighbors say he's just being irresponsible. But a community health volunteer notices the change and sits down to speak with him. She learns that Paul has been feeling hopeless and unable to sleep for weeks. She gently shares that these may be signs of depression and offers to connect him with support. That conversation is a turning point in Paul's journey toward healing. In summary, recognizing the symptoms of depression means looking beyond surface behaviors and listening deeply to what someone may be going through. Watch out for persistent sadness, loss of interest in daily life, fatigue, sleep and appetite changes, feelings of worthlessness or guilt, thoughts of self-harm or suicide. In our next lesson, we'll learn how to take these observations further by using the WHO MH-GAP Intervention Guide to screen and diagnose depression in a structured and culturally sensitive way. But before we move on, here's your reflection for today. How can you begin noticing signs of depression in everyday conversations or interactions? And what would you say to gently open the door to support? Let's continue this learning journey with empathy, awareness, and purpose.